Hello and welcomes everyone, AnthWolf here with even more Star Wars The Old Republic, playing as Verona the Imperial agent. With the second part of this video just being recorded now, I am going to briefly go into some things we may need to know, or you may need to know, about obviously playing as an Imperial agent. Obviously setting up the skills that we start with, and obviously our situation here on the planet Hutta. Of course, you probably just came from the first video and therefore know that we have been tasked with insinuating ourselves in Nemrod the Hutt's inner circle to try and convince him to publicly acknowledge and support the Empire rather than working both sides for his own profit. We have to assume a cover identity, and therefore we've been asked to locate an individual called Jheeg who has knowledge about that. But yeah, I'm just going to spend a few minutes obviously going into the skills we have already, some things about the character screen here that you may want to be aware of, and basically we'll go from there. We'll actually get some gameplay started. Right, first of all, obviously here is Verona's main character. Obviously we'll be running around as her for a good few hours now, so hopefully you're sitting back and relaxed. And obviously we are playing as an Imperial agent. Obviously I mentioned in my introduction video they have two advanced classes, the Sniper and the Operative, that have two distinctly different play styles depending on which advanced class you choose. The Sniper uses an ability called Take Cover, which if I use my middle mouse button takes me into a take cover position. Basically this doesn't mean much for at the moment, obviously the cover system. You can use it to, when you're targeting an enemy, take cover beside or behind some natural obstacles, and that kind of gives you a certain evasion percentage to dodge enemy attacks. But if you become a sniper later on, you gain this like shield basically in front of your character, which has the sort of same effect. Obviously most of the time as a sniper you're taking people down at range. As an operative, rather than having the shield, which is a shame that both classes don't get it, but they have to balance it somehow, you have a stealth field generator, allowing you to cloak yourself. As well as obviously using the vibro knife, you are able to then... Sounds like there's something happening in the cantina. You use the shiv in various effects to deal a lot of more up close and personal damage rather than trying to take people at range. It's more of a close combat stealth assassination type play style, depending on what discipline tree you go for in the end. I'll probably be going concealment, which is similar to the scrapper discipline tree I took as Malcolm the Smuggler. Cause I like concealment. I think I mentioned it even when I was playing my smuggler that I prefer the shiv heavy style that the Operative has rather than using the scattergun, which is what the Star Wars universe normally calls their shotguns. As an Imperial agent we tend to wear medium armor. We can't wear, well, I imagine we could wear light armor. We can't wear heavy armor. Let's have a look. Can we wear light armor? No, we can't. We can only wear medium armor. Oh well. Medium armor are what they call adaptive armor, which is suitable for every class in the game. Adaptive armor, though, usually requires you to put your own item modifications and gear it up yourself, whereas there will be some quest rewards we get which have preset stats which you can't adjust in any way. So as I say, obviously we'll be wearing medium armor. Before the most recent expansion, Knights of the Fallen Empire, there used to be 4 main stats that you'd concern yourself with, and depending on what playable class you played as, you would need a particular, you would need to be looking at armor and a particular stat to improve yourself. For smugglers and Imperial agents, that stat was cunning, and obviously they've removed it now, both cunning, strength, willpower and aim, and they've basically bundled them all together into a stat called Mastery, which as you can see there tells us our base, tells us how much, what we've improved it with. Obviously there must be some items that give us... How's it improved? Oh, it'll probably be because we have a buff. Yeah, we have a buff going right now. but obviously it tells us our range damage, our range critical chance, obviously what the mastery improves, and of course then endurance, which is basically your health and health regen. Of course, all these have various other effects as well. Feel free to pause and look through them. Obviously we have power, critical, alacrity? I never know how to pronounce this word properly. Of course, accuracy, defense, absorb, shield, expertise, which is more PvP orientated, and finally presence, which is actually going to be more and more important now. Presence, which increases the effectiveness of your companion. And when we get our first companion, I'll probably explain more about the companion system and how it's changed in 4.0. But basically, we want to concern ourselves primarily as an Imperial agent, especially if we're going to be going concealment, probably mastery, probably some power, probably critical. Interesting name. I'll probably focus more towards critical than power. There used to be a sub stat called Surge. Used to be you need critical rating to increase the chance of actually causing a critical damage, and then you needed Surge to determine how much extra bonus damage you would do when you critted. But now they've all rolled into one critical stat, and this can go apparently over 100%, and if it goes over 100%, it then multiplies or increases the critical multiplier basically. So all in all, a good thing. So yeah, we're looking for high mastery over endurance, because normally they have a bit of both. Normally you want something with a bit more mastery. If I was playing as a tank character, endurance is what I'd be looking at. Kind of like Valakor's a pure endurance character. But yeah, obviously we're not wearing much armour at the moment. But if we look at my inventory here, I have a wide variety of items which I've basically pulled out of my mailbox. This is the adaptable armour I will be wearing for most of the game. I have a level... oh, that's a level 50 blaster rifle. Okay, I'm not going to be using that right now. Oh well, I have an alternate, so I actually realised I was level 50. Oops, my bad. Oh well, the show must go on. Oh well, I will be using that at level 50 then. I like the look of it. Oh, that's a mistake. Oh well, never mind. But yeah, once I hit level 10, I will be pulling out some item modifications to obviously gear this up appropriately. As you can see in the item modification slots, they are currently open, which means even if I put these on, they won't really benefit me in any way. Actually, well, wearing the boots would give me +9 armor compared to the armor I'm wearing now, but the assets gear is basically the lowest of the low. It's trash gear, which we'll be replacing as soon as possible. Obviously I have various items, various titles and pets that I was given, mostly because I've been a subscriber for a good long time. There's been moments when I haven't been a subscriber and I've missed some rewards, but over the years, obviously BioWare and EA send you like anniversary fireworks and stuff like that, really. Miscellaneous goods. And of course some of these will give me experience, so I'll be using these in just a moment really. In addition, obviously I have some experience boosters. These are 1 hour boosters, these are 3 hour boosters. We have some items which regenerate health. This is the basic one that all Imperial agents have. And every class has a version of this. Basically, I sit here and I can recover my health and my energy a lot faster than standing here and doing nothing. I do also have this one unlocked, the Orbital Culto Strike, which is just merely pure decoration, has the same effect as the Recuperate ability. But I like the look of it. Obviously we have a rocket boost, which I unlocked through my legacy, and obviously we'll be looking at the legacy in a moment. But basically it allows me to travel at 110% of my movement speed, and I can use this indoors, whereas other mounts you cannot use indoors, and basically it will push you off the mount after 3 seconds. But we'll probably see more of that when we get into the game. I also have this Dr. Ugarub Hut Hollow Statue. This places down... oh, I might as well just use it here. A hollow statue here, when I level up, get level 2, level 3 and so on and so forth, rather than going to my individual class trainer, I can summon this hollow statue. And if I have any new skills, or if I can level up my current skills, I can basically summon the good hollow statue here and basically train them. It's quicker than having to go back to the various trainers on the world or on the Imperial fleet. I have a 1 hour buff called Coordination for the Imperial agent. It increases a friendly target's critical hit chance by 5% for 60 minutes. When I buff myself, I gain 2 other 60-minute buffs. Unnatural Might and Hunter's Boon. This one increases your various damages by 5%. And this increases my endurance, which means I have more health than usual. The reason I have these, if I open up the Legacy and look at Imperial classes, because I've completed the Bounty Hunters Chapter 2 storyline and the Sith Warriors Chapter 2 storyline, I get these buffs even if I'm not playing that current class. This is turning into a lecture. I apologise, I didn't realise this would go on for so long, but I like to inform people before we actually get ourselves away. Obviously I have various skills, the basic rifle shot. I can throw a fragmentation grenade, which deals so much kinetic damage in a AoE group. And of course an ability called Snipe, which takes moments to charge up and activate, but it's quite powerful. Snipe is probably going to get thrown to the wayside later on, but for early on, it's not too bad actually. And I think really the only last thing I need to mention before we actually get to some gameplay is energy. The Imperial agents, kind of what I would call like the Imperial agents mana bar. Of course we have a health bar, which obviously is the red bar. The yellow bar for Imperial agents is known as energy. It starts at 100%. It regenerates depending on how often you use it. Basically, it's regenerating 5 energy per second right now. But if obviously each ability uses energy, obviously the grenade uses 20, sniper uses 20. When this gets down to about 60%, it'll only start regenerating 4 energy a second. Then 3, then 2, then 1. Basically, the more you use your skills and don't allow it to recuperate, the longer it takes for you to recover. Now, you do get a couple of abilities that allow you to regenerate your energy faster, and I think we're going to unlock them quite early. But at the moment, we have to be careful. I tend to like to try and keep my energy between 60 and 100%. Mainly because, obviously, I want to always keep that 5 energy per second regeneration. And you tend to just be energy micromanaging a little. But yeah, apart from that, we can get ourselves away. Obviously, we have some basic med packs that we start with. These are healing items. We're going to be throwing ourselves down a 1 hour experience booster. As a final note, I suppose I should mention, I keep on lots and lots of extra final notes, I know. The 12 times class experience that we were getting in my previous campaigns as Valakar, Malcolm and Asura is no longer there. There was a brief time, obviously depending on when you're watching these videos, where up until the new expansion they were offering 12 times class experience for completing your individual class missions, which is what these are. So I'd be earning a hell of a lot more and leveling up a hell of a lot faster. But that's no longer true. They have changed the leveling system apparently. If it's any better, or if it's any worse, I'm not too sure. But basically we'll probably be leveling up at a slower pace. But because we're doing a lot of content on the worlds, I'm planning to record a lot of content on the worlds, we should still be fine basically. So yeah, I'm just going to unlock my various titles and pets and then we can get ourselves away. I know a lot of you are probably thinking about time, and I totally understand that. Obviously unlocking some of these titles does get us experience as well. Might actually hit level 2 with all this. Yeah, I mentioned in the beginning of the previous video, I would have to go check my mailbox. I decided to do that before we started this video. I had like 44 bits of mail and basically unlocked them all. All these are kind of rewards from BioWare EA, and the rest that are still in my mailbox are items I may find useful in the future. And we hit level 2 for doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely awesome. These are various pets who do nothing but look pretty as they run around beside you. Pets I don't really care too much about. Oh, that's the wrong button. There you go. Well, I haven't found a pet cool enough to run around with me, basically. So we've hit level 2. Obviously, we need level 10 to choose our advanced class. So, let's summon our hollow statue. And we learn a new ability called Shiv. Stabbing a target for 77 to 84 kinetic damage. Thank you very much. I'll be putting this over here. As you can see, I am using some number pads right now for another quick bar, basically. This is because I'm using a mouse with side buttons, which allows me to use my abilities a lot more easier. I'll tend to be using these abilities a lot more often than anything else, but obviously my hands are close to here as well. So let's get ourselves away. We need to find this Jheeg individual, and there is some people who want to speak to us. Might as well hear what they have to say.
Excuse me, stranger. I don't mean to be overly familiar, but I think you're just the kind of person who can help me. My coward of a husband has taken my son, and I need someone with the wit and muscle to bring him back.
Why would your husband take your son?
Because he's both a coward and a fool. My son is gifted. Do you understand me? Gifted in the Force. He has the ability to train on Korriban and become Sith. My husband trained on Korriban. He had his chance at glory, but failed. And now he runs errands for a slimy Hutt. I will not have my son do the same. Please, you must help me.
Why not do it yourself?
My husband once trained to be a Sith. The fact that he didn't finish doesn't diminish his skills as a fighter. I hope you'll reconsider. I would pay you well.
I give up. I'll do it.
Good. Excellent. He took my son to the shuttle port. A comm officer there who owed me a favor contacted me when they showed up. Be careful. My husband may not be willing to walk away peacefully.
So we'll look into Gianna's son. Try and find her father at the spaceport.
Father's goons are out there putting holes in anything that moves. I'm not going anywhere.
It's your first turf war? You want to get paid or not?
No, I want to keep breathing more.
Breathing the air is as likely to kill you as Father's boys are. Buy a blaster. Learn the routes through town. Just don't let the boss hear you dodging work because of a few gangsters.
I can spare a minute. I'll see what I can do.
Might be one way to insinuate ourselves in Nemro's good graces. Deal with Farfra the Hutt's gangsters. Okay, welcome to Jiguuna, everyone. Obviously Nemro the Hutt's palace is just in the distance there. And on our way to it, obviously we can deal with their various thugs and gangsters working on behalf of Farfra, or just in it for their own interests, basically. What we're really concerned about is actually going to see Jheeg here. This is our contact to get our cover identity.
Acrodonomalis, smogas total gisbavo apiatai.
I'm listening. Continue.
Vataranai angomis akananorm, alas protas era. Gratai aptikte, iruprit virtini savasia salvebe kaigis.
If there's another red blade out there, won't that be a problem?
Small sio poputus mana ira padare mananan kali. Vataranai angomis akananorm, alas protas era.
What kind of interference?
Acrodonomalis, smogas total gisbavo apiatai. Gratai aptikte, iruprit virtini savasia salvebe kaigis.
Let's make this fast and quiet then.
Acrodonomalis, smogas total gisbavo apiatai. Vataranai angomis akananorm, alas protas era.
So we're meant to be covering ourselves as a notorious pirate, the Red Blade, and we were going to give Nemro some gifts, which have disappeared. Oh, and it's, oh, hello. Some heavy armor for maybe a bounty hunter rather than us. Let's use this cover system. It tells you kind of where you'll be rolling into. It's handy if I'm getting from point A to point B sometimes. Go. Let's go get our gifts back. Recover the stolen tribute. This little green shield tells me that I'm in cover from these individuals, giving me that bonus to defense. Or 2 evasion, I think it is. Level 3. We've left no witnesses. No new abilities at level 3, that's fine. Excellent. What is our tribute? Let's have a look. Cargo stolen. Gifts for Nemro, but it doesn't tell us what kind of gifts they are.
Sio taisek la plasma era. Adra vimos brandimus prostis cad ataveritag.
What exactly are these gifts?
Gratai aptikte, iruprit virtini savasia salvebe kaigis. Vataranai angomis akananorm, alas protas era.
Jheeg, from this point forward, operational security will be at a premium. You will not contact us from this terminal again.
Small sio poputus mana ira padare mananan kali.
I understand you corrected Jheeg's mishandling of the situation, Agent. We'll now proceed.
Acknowledged and understood.
Your next task is to access Nemro's inner circle. Present yourself to the Hut as a fellow gangster, the Red Blade, and offer him Jheeg's gifts. One of the gifts is implanted with a listening device, which we will use to monitor conversations within Nemro's palace.
Are you listening for something specific?
At this juncture, our primary goal is to find weaknesses in Nemro's organization. Even if the Hutt won't join us, we might influence his lieutenants. Talk to Nemro and his men. Determine who we can turn and how we can sway them. We will be listening.
In that case, I better watch my mouth.
I expect my ears can handle it, Blade. Be careful what you say. And lose the accent. When you're in the Hutt Palace, you're no longer an Imperial. Contact me from the cantina once Nemro has his presence. Keep her out.
Here we are. Oh, excellent. We gain level 4 from that. We're leveling reasonably quickly. Debilitate. Deals 32 to 42 energy damage and stuns the target for 4 seconds. Latest ability. Okay, we need to go find Nemro the Hutt now. Nemro, as I say, is in his palace. We need to speak to Mex, which is the husband to Jiguuna, which I think we'll do in the next video. You might as well park 2 moments. Sorry about that. Probably tell by my voice it was I was choking there. But yeah, we'll park ourselves outside the Poison Pit Cantina. That's a good place to park ourselves for a bit of visual aid. There you go. But no, obviously when we come back, we'll go to Jiguuna Spaceport. We'll find this Mex individual. And then we'll be on our way to Nemro's palace to see if we can give these gifts to Nemro. And obviously we'll proceed from there, proceed with our assignment. This of course has been AnthWolf for Star Wars The Old Republic. Feel free to comment if you so desire. I know the first 10-13 minutes or so was a lot of basically introduction to the character. But I say sometimes it's required basically, but then once it's done, we don't need to do it again. Until something new creeps up basically, but it shouldn't take that long ever again. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, bye bye now.